Hi, all you SPMEs out there. Today's video has 3 points, and you're going to want to stick around because the third point is a secret as to why you might wish to write your book in 24 hours. So let's get into it. The topic of today's video is how to write a book in less than 24 hours. Now, perhaps you're first getting started with writing, or you've been writing for a while and you're just wanting to challenge yourself. And you're wondering a little bit upon maybe how fast could you in fact produce a book? And so you're starting to get into this process and you're thinking, is it even possible to do this? Or maybe this is a little bit too much of a challenge. There's a number of these challenges, like in November, there's the NaNoWriMo, the idea of writing 50,000 words in a period of a month. So it's not too far off from this exact same concept of challenging oneself with something along the lines of how quickly can you write and produce a book. And maybe you want to do it to make money off of it, or maybe from some other reasons, but you're wondering, is it even possible? Well, that is what we're going to explore in today's video. This is Chris Baird from selfpublishingmadeeasynow.com, where self-publishing doesn't have to be so hard. Hit the subscribe button if you're finding any of my content to be useful so that we can beat the YouTube algorithm finally and start to build a even bigger and reach even more self-publishers or authors out there who need to hear the message that I'm trying to give out to you all. And check out below in the comments and you can grab a copy of my absolutely free self-publishing checklist to make sure that you are not skipping any of the steps necessary to win at the self-publishing game. So check out that secrets checklist below. So let's get into it. When I first got started, one of my very first books I read was how to write and self-publish a book in 28 days. Now, this was along the exact same lines. Now, we're not dealing with 24 hours, but 28 days. So what happened was I started exactly jumping in on this and writing 1,000 words a day. And after, I think it was 15 days, I actually had written my very first book at 15,000 words. And the book was not that low of quality because it was, in fact, a subject I was very excited about and I had been studying for a very long time. And so in this case, it would be a goal achievement. So then, did I make the goal? Well, not exactly. I did succeed in writing the book in 15 days with 1,000 words a day, as some people call it, putting your butt in the chair, which is the key to making progress, not talking about the book, but actually writing the book. The next thing is I had to do editing on it. I had it through 2 rounds of editing. I had an email list building, trying to figure out how that all works when you connect it into a new website and domain that was building around it, and also doing the cover creation that took a lot longer than this book had told me that it was going to take. And I did get a cover initially and it was terrible. I just didn't have an idea how to do the covers at a reasonable price at the time. Now I use, of course, Fiverr. You can check out my affiliate link below in the description for the person I use on Fiverr to do the covers, which are amazing compared to, at the time, it was like $80 to do a cover. It was unbelievable. But the thing is, I ended up getting my book out. It was not in 28 days. It completely failed at that, but it was more like 4 months. But it did help me understand the concepts involved with putting a time limit on when you're going to do something, because I think it was, I forgot whose law it was. You can let me know below in the comments who says that your effort and the amount of time it takes to do something will expand to match the amount of time that you've given it. So if you say 1,000 words a day, or if you say I'm going to do it in 1 day, that you will find yourself doing it. As some people would say, in terms of at the university, would say, if you wait to the last minute, it only takes a minute. And that is exactly that law that we were just discussing, where it starts to kick into gear. I think Parkinson's law, that's the one, Parkinson's law. So, but that's an important point. That's one of the reasons why putting dead limits on ourselves, time limits on when, and deadlines is a very powerful tool to making sure that we're getting things done, even if the outside world is not pressuring us to do it. So, how to write a book in less than 24 hours, and let me get down into the details now. So the first thing is shoot for a length that you can manage, like 5,000 words or 10,000 words. We are not talking of writing a 100,000 word book. I would say, though, that you should not go underneath 3,000 words because you can't make a paperback book out of it if it's under 3,000 words. So you're going to need at least 3,000 words, and then that will probably help you out at achieving your goal and making sure that you're like every hour putting in 1,000 words, which is in fact possible. I think I can type at a rate of, I can get 1,000 words actually in about 20, 30 minutes, something like that. But we're all different. Some of you may be much faster than I am, and some of you may be much slower than I am. I was happy to get 1,000 words a day, and I was editing and making sure that everything looked okay. But just as a basic thing, you might want to figure out your own speed on this to figure out how doable this is and how many words your book is going to need to be. Ideally, it will be on a topic for which you're already familiar, because it's a lot easier, or a story for which you've already come up in your head, and that will be something that will save you a lot of time. We're not talking of writing a book on a subject we know nothing about. It has to be something we definitely know stuff about. The second is use digital editing tools. Now I'm moving on to the idea, which is in a 24-hour period, you not only can write the book, we can actually get it posted on Amazon. And so what we're going to do is we're going to use editing tools like Word and the OpenOffice or LibreOffice and Grammarly in order to run it through these particular tools to make sure that we're using the right tools that are necessary in order to win at this particular game without paying any money or waiting on anybody else to do the work. Let the tools do it for you. Then we're going to use Canva and their template for covers, and you can pull in some of their free pictures or use Pixabay, find some free pictures to throw onto your cover, stick with their fonts and stuff for their example Kindle books, and we're going to be able to make progress doing that. And then we just set up the account. If I'm assuming you already have an account, but even if you don't, we're going to set up an account, and then we're going to be able to take that account and we'll be able to put these books onto it within our 24-hour period. This is a completely doable task. But the secret answer of the day, which is why exactly would you want to do this? Because wouldn't it just make a terrible quality book? And the answer is no, because the goal is not a top quality book, but rather the knowledge that it is in fact possible and that you have it in you to get the book out there. In some ways, it also is fighting against the perfectionist side of ourselves, trying to make everything absolutely flawless and perfect whenever we're trying to achieve this goal of getting our book onto the market in a very short period of time. So then when we're using a week or a couple of weeks to get a book on the market, or a month or so, that it's not going to be as difficult. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. I've been working on my book for years, and you're telling me 24 hours and we're going to get a book on the market. I'm not arguing that the quality is going to be very high. I'm just saying that sometimes pushing ourselves out of our comfort zones can be very helpful at helping to establish the fact that we can, in fact, do this project. This is completely doable. You have everything you need in yourself. We can do this project absolutely free without paying a single penny in order to get it onto the market, and then see what happens. If it's a terrible book, well, then it will do terribly. But the reality is sometimes we take these risks, we take these challenges, put it under a pen name, whatever. It doesn't really matter, but I'm just saying it's good to stretch ourselves and to show ourselves that we are in fact able to do it. Like NaNoWriMo, the idea is you put that 50,000 word book, you create it, and then we put it onto the market, or you edit it and you go and fix the thing afterwards. And some people find that to be a very helpful way. So maybe you don't put it on the market, but at least you have a basic manuscript. You're writing, I think they call them pantsers, right? You're writing from the seat of your pants. I think Stephen King was one of these people, but he's just naturally gifted, so that probably doesn't hurt either. So my question for you is, what is the shortest number of days you have written a book? I told you mine was 15, but I want to hear from you below in the comments, and check up above me here for more video answers to your self-publishing questions. Thanks.